Well, once again, it's time to take a look at another primo awesome event happening in the community. That's right, it's the one and only Boy Scout Troop 181's annual spaghetti dinner. On Saturday, February 23, 2008, at the Downers Grove American Legion Post 80 in Downers Grove, Illinois, Boy Scout Troop 181, sponsored by the Downers Grove VFW Post 503, was putting on a simply totally awesome event. This event, of course, included a yummy spaghetti dinner and also garlic bread, spaghetti, rolls, meatballs, plus the option to even make a meatball sandwich. There was also a primo selection of desserts, including pie, cake, cupcakes, Boston cream pie. I mean, just the works, dude. There was also tons of raffles, you know, where you place a ticket that you purchase in a little bag by the item you want, as well as a silent auction, and of course door prizes. This was just a plain banquet, if you will. All the kids from Troop 181 all had their particular jobs, and again, were just busy as beavers. Troop 181 again helping the community by providing yummy chow to a very hungry community. All funds raised went to both Boy Scout Troop 181 and Windy City Rollers. Also, veterans from Hines Veteran Affairs Hospital were in attendance at this dinner. Bill White, former commander of Downers Grove VFW Sentry Post 503 and member of the Windy City Rollers, tells us about how this spaghetti dinner all got started.
Well, I was part of the Scouts, assistant chair, and I was the VFW commander, and I happened to be a member of the team. And I had wanted to raise money for my team, and the Scouts at that same time had wanted to have a spaghetti fundraiser, and we kind of clashed on the dates, so we decided to marry up and make things right, and we've been doing it for 8 years now. And it's great because I've watched a lot of kids go through the scouting program. Hines, the team itself, has benefited over the years with several amounts of donations that come off of this. And it's just a great thing. The kids come out and work with the veterans at the Veterans Games. They come out there on Veterans Day. And it's really been just a great pleasure, you know, since we married up with this. And they benefit for it. They get gear for their camping. They get stuff for their trailers. And they can help send some of the kids to Owassapee that can't afford it. And it just works all hand in hand really good.
John Meek, Scoutmaster for Boy Scout Troop 181, tells us more about this dinner.
Well, this is our 8th year, and every year, it's the very first year we were at the VFW on Belmont. We outgrew that the same night we had it. We're starting to outgrow this place, as you see. Every year it gets better and bigger. Our troop logs over 20% of the total service hours for our entire council, and that's what, how many troops is that? 63, 68? This one troop logs over 20% of the total service hours. And part of the service hours are our guys going down to Hines Hospital. This is service hours for our kids, because the money, half the proceeds go to Hines, half goes to our troop to keep it functioning, Court of Honors, tires for the trailer, gas for vehicles to go to summer camp, buying new tents, things like that.
As I said, there was just a lot of delicioso desserts and such. Assistant Scoutmaster Zach Krause and Scoutmaster John Meek tell us more.
It was basically brought in by all of the community.
On 75th Street donated most of the desserts and pastries.
As I mentioned, part of all money raised from this dinner is going to Windy City Rollers. Bill White, member of Windy City Rollers, tells us about them and what they do.
Well, it's a physically challenged team that's comprised of all veterans. It's based out of Hines VA Hospital. And with that, you have 3 different venues. There's the Winter Sports Clinic, which is an actual clinic. And then you have the National Wheelchair Games, and you have the Golden Age Games. And out of that, we send athletes and people that want to participate. It costs roughly between $1,000 to $1,200 to get a single individual to an event, and that doesn't count if they have caregivers or if they need aids and things like that. So that, you know, adds other money on for flight costs. The Winter Sports Games are always in Aspen, Snowmass, Colorado. The wheelchair games this year are going to be in Omaha, Nebraska. Last year they were in Wisconsin. That was close. A lot of people could drive. The year before that they were in Alaska. The year prior to that they were in Minnesota. The year before that was in Long Beach.
Right.
It travels, so it does cost. That's where the money goes, is for the flight and the food and the assistance for the caregivers, and it's part of the members of the team to raise funds to help support that effort. The VA will not pay your way there. But they will have your assistance when you get there. So basically we have to cover our meals and our flights and stuff.
Annette Caname works at Hines VA Hospital in Maywood, Illinois. She tells us about her role today.
My position is as a chairperson for the sports committee and the program that organizes some of the fundraising activities. It is a self-sufficient group based on the proceeds and donations from very generous donors. We were very fortunate when Bill joined our team about 10 years ago because he's very outgoing, he's got a lot of community connections, was able to put this together for us, and half the proceeds actually are donated for the cost of sending the veterans to the national events, as Bill had indicated. We do send teams to all three of the national events. As Bill indicated, it's at least $1,000 per athlete to send. We're always looking for donations that would go to the hospital to help support the vets for this activity. And as I said, we're very fortunate that we've got the donation from the Boy Scouts. But the Boy Scouts actually always come out to our local wheelchair games, which is going to be May 31st at the hospital. And at that point, the Boy Scouts come out and help with putting that event together. And that gives veterans an opportunity to practice and compete in some of the activities that they would at national level. The sports clinic, the Golden Age Games, the wheelchair games are all an extension of the rehabilitative process, and we're very fortunate to have a team that go to all these events, but we couldn't do it without the generous donations of everybody. So if you're interested, GPF 1015 is the account that any donations could be made to the sports program. And we truly appreciate the effort of Troop 181, the American Legion, and for Bill White for putting us all together.
Again, kudos to Boy Scout Troop 181. Awesome job. You rock!